annoying that my phone tells me I get reached maximum recording time. Anyway, because we've just only got 5 more minutes left to explain this. So anyway, so what did I roll? A 3, was it? But it was modified, so I think that's 3 not modified. So that's just 3 Confederate victory points on the Union politics table. So the Confederates have 3 victory points. Then we go to leader restoration segment. That means we just, on the strength point tracks, we move all of the leaders back to show their unactivated state. And in fact, we can put Lee and Hooker at their maximum action points because they're always activated. So effectively, we're just moving a few counters there, and then we go to the marker removal segment, so called, but actually generally it means you're flipping. First stage, you flip the force march, or you get exhausted from fighting a battle as well, meaning you can't. Both of those cases meaning you cannot force march next turn. This just reminds you of that. Slightly different things happen in relation to that in the advanced game. Okay, and then finally we come to the game turn record segment. So we're moving on 2 days in the basic game, and we calculate victory points. So who has scored what in terms of victory points? For each Confederate strength point eliminated in combat 1 for the Union. So the Union eliminated 2, so they get 2 victory points. And then if the rail lines from Washington to Harrisburg and Washington to Cumberland are open, then they get 2 victory points. Damn, I'd forgotten. That's one thing I want to do, is to move Ewell up here and cut that rail line as soon as possible, which is probably worth more than sitting on the 10 victory points that for very long that is worth. Anyway, so that's something to remember. So Union get 4 for that, 2 for each of those. Pennsylvania and Maryland are free of Confederate divisions or larger. That's another thing. If we needed someone in Maryland, but that generally can't happen till game turn 2 at the earliest. So the Union get 1, 2, 3, 4 for that per game turn. They didn't get any Confederate depots, and they have 90 plus strength points, i.e. the Army of the Potomac in Virginia. They get 2 for every game turn that stays in Virginia. Now the Confederates, for every 3 Union strength points, they're going to get 1 victory point. Now they only took out 2, so that counts as 1 victory point to them. If the Army of Northern Virginia is north of the Potomac, they would get 1. It's not. If a Confederate corps or larger is West Virginia, they would get 1. It's not. And they're not in Maryland or Pennsylvania, which would gain them more. They're not interdicting the supply of Washington, so they don't get any there. They didn't capture Harrisburg, they don't get any there. They didn't capture Baltimore, they don't get any there. They didn't take any Union supply depots yet, they don't get 5 for that. And they didn't capture Washington, which would automatically give them the victory. So we're standing at a net 8 victory points for the Union already, and that has got me worried already, because if the Union get off to a good start, it's hard for the Confederate to catch them up in victory points. They need to be getting victory points quickly, which means they need to get north quickly. But the good thing is that now Ewell is in Lee's command range, so we'll be moving Ewell into West Virginia, cutting the rail line there, and then moving them on if possible. You could send a division definitely into Maryland, but we need a whole corps in Maryland. Well, we could at least with the division deny 2 victory points. The division in Maryland would deny 2 victory points to the Union. So you can see that the victory points are encouraging the Confederates moving north and worrying the Union in such manner. interesting to see Stuart somewhat in dire straits and sandwiched there. So yeah, what I think is Hill's just going to move on quickly to try and join Lee. So that might give Hooker second thoughts if he possibly can get there sharpish. I mean, Lee's going to overtake him, but Hooker could potentially try and grab Hill as he tries to catch up with Lee. But Lee can join up with Ewell, so hopefully Hill can force March sharpish. I mean, what we might have to do is send a division over to Ashby Gap. Maybe once Pleasanton's moved past it, send a division to Ashby Gap to hold up Hooker so that gives Hill a chance to get in front of Hooker. Meanwhile, Lee and Ewell move up here, cutting rail lines and moving up into Pennsylvania. That seems the plan. On the Confederate side, on the Union side, they're quite happy. So Washington's not being threatened as yet. It would to cut its supply lines needs units there and not just pickets, because they would be destroyed very quickly. So if the Confederate are going up here, they might tail back, but they're moving towards us as the Union, which we like. I'm very happy to have discombobulated Stuart there, and the thought is really then to send up Pleasanton to shadow Ewell, maybe even harry him, get between him and Lee. Maybe that would give time for Hooker to march up and possibly even engage Lee in combat. We don't know. That would be the aim. And with any luck, Hooker's going to get dismissed and Meade will come on instead. Mind you, I say that, but Hooker's not, in his stats in the game, he's not a bad commander. How much better is Meade? I need to check Meade's action points, because that's something that really counts. I haven't got his counter handy to do that this minute, but he's actually got less. He's the same as Hooker, but with a smaller command range, just 6 instead of 8. In terms of the strategic, but I guess he's better in terms of combat rating. Okay, so I think I better stop now. That's going to be about an hour and 8 or 10 minutes videoing. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to show you a battle. I'll have to do another video for that one. I won't be able to continue on this one, and it's problematic for me to glue videos together. So I hope that's enough for you to get a bit of an idea, at least, of how the basic game plays. It gives you an idea of the kind of decisions you're making, and the sense you don't have many forces, but you should really have sent out more pickets from Lee and so forth, but he's doing okay at the moment. Please, if you have any questions or comments, do put them on, and I'll address them in a subsequent video. So, like I say, my plan is to, I think maybe a video of the continuation of this game. I'm inevitably going to be playing some of it before I get back to the video, so it won't be an immediate continuation, but I will come in at an interesting point, at least with a battle in it, and maybe leave that for the basic gameplay, and then shoot more videos for the advanced, and if my stamina holds out, the campaign game.